What is up guys, Kane here. I kind of decided to start going from the very beginning, talking about every race in this game and what it can do. And then move forward to events, move forward to PvP, formations, equipment, and all that kind of stuff. So in this video, I will just briefly explain the Lich Race and what it can do and what it will be able to do, its pros and cons and all that kind of stuff. So I slowly started to make a category and some channels on our Discord, which people will be able to access if they don't really want to watch any videos. So in this specific room, I will start to more or less comment about each specific race. So the first one we have is the Lich Race. Some comments from what I have seen from my very beginning of the realm, from Castle 1 to right now Castle 42, and also their strengths, their weaknesses, and some events that they're good at. So going from the top, their strengths are a strong castle defense. Now if we go into here and we go into the garrison troops, we see that we have the red skeletons as the front line and we have the red lich mages as the ranged units. So why they are good is because of these skeletons right here. They're good because of one of their perks called the Eternal Will, which gives them survivability for an additional 2.5 seconds after receiving a killing blow. It doesn't sound very strong, but believe me, it is very strong. And also the Lich Mages. They are strong because of one of their perks as well, which is attacks deal magic damage equivalent to 0.5% HP of the target's max health, and deals double damage to magical units. So for instance, if any Sylph or any other, let's say, magical frontline decides to attack the Lich, their army will be dying fairly quickly, but it doesn't do as much damage to, let's say, human swordmen, Rakan blades, all that kind of stuff, those that are not magical, so keep that in mind. This wall defense as well becomes extremely strong if you have a black dragon. Now unfortunately I do not have a black dragon, I have a red dragon which is pretty decent in PvP. Now probably a lot of people will say no, but I am using it in PvP and people keep tagging my red dragon even if they're like 500,000 core above me. Killing this dragon with a tag is very hard, because I have the Blessed Dragon skill Heart, I have two other tanky skills in terms of Rampage and Incendiary, and also I have corresponding prisms, I have, let's say, Draconic done, so he doesn't die after one tag. But if you're playing Lich and you want to decide to play Lich, you have to get a black dragon. This is a must 100% for any other Lich. Also, one of their strengths is a decent amount of events that they can participate on and score high points or high ranks. Those events include Divine Trials, which is a 3-man event. They can be good at both surviving, also known as being the tanks in the event, or doing the damage in the event of one of the two, let's say, places where you should be doing the damage. They're also good in Elite Trials, but it really depends how old your server is. So if you are fairly new, like probably Castle 20, 25, and not many players are like Castle 35 or above or something like that, or it is time based, the Lich Mages, they are actually one of the best, if not the best, for this event. However, the further the, let's say, the server goes, the stronger the boss becomes at the stage 7, and the stronger the army becomes that is being summoned. And thus the Lich Mages become very slow. So instead of scoring 23 seconds, that turns to 27 to 30, and I think the last time I had was like 30-29 with Lich Mages, from having 24 or 5 or so. So I have used another race for this event. But like I said, they're pretty good for elite trials, but only very early in the server. Also, Nightfire Invasion, I think this is the best race for the event. Also use Lich Mages. I think it is a given fact, and a lot of people know, if you're not using Lich Mages for this event, you're not going to score top ranks. At least from Castle, let's say 1 to Castle, I don't know, 42 where I am at right now. Maybe somewhere above, something else outscales them, but currently seeing the rankings, those Lich Mages double or triple the score of literally anything else. And last but not least, the Lich Race is very good for city destruction events, but they are a lot slower than humans or dwarves. Now, what I mean they are a lot slower, so when you have the Lich Mages, right, they have a decent number of attack, they have a decent number of attack speed, but don't mind my crit stats and my crit damage, my equipment is not the best. I have made some goofs on, let's say, army equipment, and it will take me just a little bit to fix it up in the future. But what I mean by that is their attack speed is very slow comparing to, let's say, the Rakan archers, to human archers and all that kind of stuff, as well as their movement. So in terms of like the, how can I say, the dwarf deadeyes, in terms of human archers, in terms of Rakan archers, they can get to the wall defense fast, they can do a lot of damage very fast. But Lich Mages, they don't do a lot of fast burst damage as many other factions or other races. So yes, they do damage, but it is kind of slow. And you know, if the unit dies, or let's say the army or frontline dies, their attacks are still flying towards the enemy. In such a case, for every single dead army unit, maybe 10-15 of those Lich Mage balls can fly to nothing and do no damage. At least that is from what I've noticed, and their PvP is not very strong. At least, like I said, in my own opinion, in my own case. But this changes at the very late game, when Liches can use these mummies right here and build army which is one tier higher than most players. Now, if you don't believe me, we can go into replays and check one of the Liches. So we take a level 50 Lich versus a level 50 Rakan, and the Rakan seems to be stronger than the Lich. So once we enter the replay, we see that the Rakan is all tier 18 army, while the Lich is tier 19, which is what I wanted to say about the Lich mummies. They can revive event army which is tier 19 and give you army troops which are tier 19. You can do it at any point in the game to provide yourself one tier higher army, but it takes a lot of time and effort to do this, and you will need to keep redoing it time after time after time if you will lose these troops, so you wouldn't be able to use them in any regular PvP or stuff like that because you will be losing them. So that is one point to keep in mind. And as we check the stats, their HP is 2.3 million compared to Rakan's 2.4 million. Now, as far as I know, the Lich skeleton, let's say HP, should be quite a lot lower than most others to make up for their number, and a bit more higher attack because they're also quite slow. But from what we can see, tier 18 and 30 army troops versus 38, they are the same HP on tier 19 as tier 18 Rakan Blade. So in terms of tankiness, these skeletons are pretty darn good. So pretty much that is like the short summary of this entire race. Giving my own personal opinion and looking at their weaknesses, they're very slow. Their army permanently dies, so if you're in any PvP and you beat a strong guy, you will have to go retrain troops, which can be bothersome if you're switching your hero equipment to boost your army capacity. It can be very tedious and it can be very annoying. Also, it is not a very fun race to play or invest time on. At least, again, that is my personal opinion. I would only use them for events. Though if you change your mind and you have anything else to add to one of these strengths and weaknesses, please do let me know. I do not play them competitively as I am playing Rakan, though I am using them competitively in events only. So that is where most of my tips come from. And if you have good points or good advice or you want anything else for the players to know, I will surely add to this list here. Anyways, thanks for watching guys and stay safe.